did is very simple. I started meditating. And I'd been reading about meditation for 15 years at this point, since the early 70s, when I went to Sierra Leone and somebody put a Alan Watts book in front of me about Zen Buddhism. It was wonderful because I had thrown out Western religion by this time after being a devout Catholic all through university. I chucked the whole thing over. But I wasn't atheist. I was basically agnostic, and Buddhism gave me another channel to develop my spiritual side. But I only read about it, and every time I tried to meditate, well, it was too hard. You know, my thoughts would go everywhere, and it was too hard sitting still. So I really never did. So what I did is I decided I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes, and I'm going to let my pain in. And for those 7 years, I had put a wall right here on my tummy, just above my hip. And I said, that's it, the burning stops. And I basically had tried to detach my lower body from my upper body. So finally I realized I'm not going to kill myself. I realized I was bored with that fantasy, and I have to deal with this pain. So as I say, I let it in for five minutes by taking that wall down, just sitting and letting the pain move. And that's what it does. It flows as it's flowing now. But if you could see it, you would see a constant current moving all over there, mostly through here. Once in a while I get jolts into my upper body, but otherwise it's down there and it's moving. So ever since then I've tried to do, well, first of all I realized after 5 minutes, okay, I can do that. So then I started sitting for 10 minutes, okay, I can do that. And in fact, the pain wasn't as bad as I thought. You know, the anticipation of it, the fear of it was worse. So I was realizing these things fast and furious. Then I managed to find a Zen meditation group, and I was sitting half an hour and an hour and sitting 3 hours with them and doing all-day meditations. So at the same time I had dropped this constant fantasy of suicide. So finally, after 7 years, I started to make room for another identity, and I started to let Wayne Westfall, quadriplegic in a wheelchair, be that identity. But not just that, it was other things. You know, I was still working, we're still looking for work. I had been working. That was very important. It gave me some sense of identity. I had friends. I still had a community of friends that I was attached to. There are issues I felt strongly about, which were, you know, fairly political-minded activists before my injury, and that was still there. So there were things that I still wanted to live for. And when I got into the meditation, that started channeling that spiritual need that I have for some kind of a meaning, spiritual, doing that in some kind of spiritual context seemed to, which means just a broader context, connecting me to other beings. Buddhism calls them beings, human beings, plants, animals, spirits, past, present, those to come, just connecting and making sense of my place in the puzzle. So I started doing that, and I started getting kind of just letting some space develop for a new identity to come in. I managed to get some part-time work teaching at St. Lawrence College, which I did for about 15 years. And between that and my pension, having a place, apartment's only 400 square feet, but it's very cozy. I've learned I like living in small spaces. I like to know where things are. I'm pretty organized. And, you know, my hairbrush has to keep staying in the same place for the next helper to get it, blah, blah, blah. So I managed to live, you know, a fairly simple lifestyle and keep and I'd done this before my injury. I never really liked working full-time that much. It just wasn't something that interested me. And when the weather's nice, I just wanted to be outside. And it was the same after my injury, so I was able to do much of that with the way my jobs and pension worked out. Plus, in I'd say by 1988, about 9 years after my injury, 9 or 10 years, I was comfortable as Wayne Westfall, this quadriplegic, who also was a friend who people, part of a family, part of the community. I was working again. I was my sister, my older sister, who I remember at the age of 6 going to the library. She'd go upstairs, the library in Sarnia, which was falling down but very cozy. She'd go upstairs and take painting lessons, and I'd sit down in the fairy tale section and look at books and read books when I was 6 years old. She introduced me to painting, and I had a friend here in town who, in the winter of '88, I took a watercolor course from him. Just got hooked on art, and being an adult, I was very tight and fussy about it for years and years, and worried about making a mess and all that stuff, when all you had to do is turn the page over and start again. So for 20 years now, art has been a big part of my life, both watercolor but also pen and ink, just learning to draw. And about, this is 2008, around the year 2000, I decided I'm going to learn to draw, and I'm going to learn to do it my way, because I'd taken art courses and I tried books, but I still couldn't make my drawing look like that teapot. So I said, to heck with it, I'll make that teapot look like my drawing. So you'll see in my art, that's what happens. It's things are realistic enough to make it look like a teapot and sitting on a table and all the rest of it. But it doesn't look like it would there. But looks like Wayne Westfall. I developed a line, so it's fascinating to actually develop my own line. I have a friend who he's from Germany, and he did a fine arts course, but he said he envies me, because he said he can't not draw a straight line. Well, I can't draw a straight line, so in fact I've kind of learned how to use that as an asset there. So art became a big part of my life, and it gave me a channel for developing other aspects of my spiritual life, because I think art is its own spirituality. But it just allowed me to literally see the world differently. When I paint and I draw, I see you differently. I see everything differently. Literally, I just see them. You look at things different. So I really like that aspect. It gets me out of myself. And so it's been sporadic over the years, but it's getting more regular. Art, one of the many things it does, it just takes me out of myself, gives me a whole other perspective of what is around me. And it's been a real big boost to my life. So I would say it took me 10 years to get comfortable with who I am and living again, and my new identity. And the literature said 2 years, most of it. Not true, not for me. Maybe for other people, but I couldn't do it in that time. And one of the things I realized through my years when I was teaching, I would tell them, I would get someone to write my name on the board, Wayne Westfall, and I'd give them my home phone number. And I would say, one of the things I taught was memory skills, and I would say, okay, so my name is Westfall. Well, I broke my neck in Alaska, so it's somewhat prophetic, falling out west. But I said, to be chronologically accurate, you should call me Westfell. But if I was going to change my name, I'd change it to East Rise.
Put your heart in every day. Well, they say you learn a lesson every day.